Hello and welcome to Pace Hospital's podcast. Today, we are discussing an important topic that concerns every expecting mother and family, that is, pregnancy care and maternal health. Joining us today, Dr. Mugdha Bandawar, obstetrician, gynecologist, laparoscopic surgeon at Pace Hospitals. In today's episode, she will guide us through the early symptoms of pregnancy, essential medical tests during pregnancy, healthy diet recommendations, safe exercises, and important lifestyle measures that can help support both mother and baby throughout the pregnancy journey.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mugdha. I work in Pace Hospital, High Tech City as an obstetrician and gynecologist. So today we are here to talk about most frequently asked questions in pregnancy.
Thank you, Dr. Mugdha, for joining us at Pace Hospital's High Tech City. Let's start by understanding how to check pregnancy at home.
There are multiple pregnancy kits available in the market. The most frequently are which has two line indicators, which has control and test. So you should use early morning urine sample and pour 2 to 3 drops in the indicator given. There will be two indicators. If a double red line is there, it indicates positive, and if only one line is there, it indicates either error or negative. Even in fact, if you check it at home, it is very necessary for you to go to an obstetrician and gynecologist to confirm that you are pregnant, because even in intrauterine or extrauterine pregnancy like ectopic pregnancy, you can have two lines showing positive pregnancy. Even if the line is faintly pink or red, it is also an indicator of pregnancy.
So, doctor, what are the symptoms of pregnancy?
So it's quite a subjective matter. Like for example, some people might show number of symptoms, but some people might not have any symptoms. But the most common feature that is there is missed period. That is, you do not get your periods on the day you were supposed to get your periods, or you delayed your periods like for more than 8 days, 10 days, and so on. But the other commonly shown symptoms are morning sickness like vomiting or nausea sensations in the morning, then loss of taste, loss of appetite, feeling tired or sleepy. Could be some other symptoms which might be there in some people and might not be there in some.
Dr. Mugdha, how to stop vomiting in pregnancy at home?
So definitely vomiting, first of all I'll tell you that vomiting is not a bad sign of pregnancy. It's a very good sign of pregnancy. It tells you that there are ample number of hormone which is supporting your pregnancy. The vomiting in pregnancy is generally because of the HCG hormone which is there in pregnancy. So you should not be worried first. And secondly, you should definitely tell your doctor. She will be able to tell you if it is normal vomitings in pregnancy or if it is hyperemesis, which is excessive vomiting in pregnancy. Then the other is she will definitely give you some medicines to support it. Other than that, you can take some home remedies like eating frequent meals, like eating every 2 hourly some meals until and unless contraindicated, like in diabetes, or taking more of carbohydrates early in the morning. Instead of taking sips of tea and coffee in the morning, you can just take some biscuits or toast, which will help you reduce early morning sickness. Even while sleeping, you can take a little more of carbohydrates so that you are not deficient in carbohydrate when you wake up, and that will help you not have so many morning sickness episodes in the morning.
So, doctor, when to take a home pregnancy test?
So the ideal time for you to take pregnancy test at home is at least 5 days to 8 days of missed period. That is, if your periods were supposed to come on 1st and it's already 5th or 8th and you still think that there is no period, you can definitely do a pregnancy test, but it might be false positive or false negative as well. I mean, even if on 8th, if it is showing negative, that doesn't mean that you are not pregnant. It could be a false negative. Then you can repeat your test and see, or you can definitely go to a gynecologist and check.
Can you explain how to increase the hemoglobin level during pregnancy?
To increase hemoglobin, you need to have a diet rich in iron. Definitely, you should supplement your diet with vitamins and iron tablets given by your obstetrician. But some home remedies that you can do is take enough of iron-rich food like green leafy vegetables, palak, methi. Then, other than that, beetroots, carrots, eating jaggery and groundnut laddus will do very good. Eating pomegranates, then eating dry fruits, and there are many other iron-rich medicines, iron-rich food and foodstuffs like ragi malt is also very good, and having almonds and akhroad is also very good. So there are multiple diet options that you can include in your diet every day, which can improve your hemoglobin level.
Dr. Mugdha, are there any foods that should be avoided during pregnancy?
Now, foods to avoid is a little broad term. First of all, I'll tell you should avoid all the food that has bacteria that will make you get sick. Like, for example, eating unwashed fruits and vegetables, or drinking unpasteurized milk, or even eating cheese which is not pasteurized, or having a half-boiled egg which will have some bacteria in which can make you sick, or eating undercooked of meat, fish, or anything that is just not cooked properly. So you should always try and eat at home so that you get less of bacterial infection which can be there even in hands while people are serving and all. So wash your hands properly, keep your dishes clean, and there are also many remedies told or food stuff told by our grandparents not to eat which can be allergenic, like papayas can produce more heat, or til, or eating pineapples, or specifically sea fishes and all can cause you some allergies, because of which it can be a problem for you or your offspring. So that is definitely yes to avoid in pregnancy.
So, doctor, can pregnant women drink coffee or tea?
Tea or coffee has caffeine in it, there is no research that says how much you should limit it, or what is the exact content beyond which caffeine is bad for you. So definitely you can have tea or coffee once in a day, like having 200 milligram of caffeine is okay. But you should remember, while calculating these 200 milligrams, you should consider some like chocolates or some soft drinks, tea and coffee definitely, and there are many other foodstuffs that we eat every day that do have caffeine content in it, so you should take that in mind.
Is exercise safe during pregnancy?
If you are a person who do exercise every day, then definitely you should continue doing your exercises, and if you want to start doing an exercise, then we recommend only 30 minutes of exercise in the starting. The safest option would be doing yoga, taking a swim, or even just brisk walking. You should not do any exercises which involves jumping and falling down, for example playing basketball or playing anything which has jumping, or anything in which you can skid away. Then other than that, definitely I would recommend you to do exercise, because exercise will make you active and not put on more weight, and will reduce the chances of BP and sugar in pregnancy, and also will improve your chances of having normal delivery. So definitely you should exercise.
Dr. Mugdha, is sleeping on the left side important during pregnancy?
That they have to sleep on their left side always, which I will say definitely is difficult and rather scary at times, because it is not possible for you to remember and sleep always on the left side. So it's not left side, you can sleep on both the sides. It is better to avoid sleeping on the back, because there are few vessels which will be compressed, which supplies to the growing uterus and your baby. So instead of sleeping on the back, you can sleep on either side, left or right is okay. But if at all you find yourself sleeping on the back, do not panic, it's okay, just turn to the side.
Can you explain, is sex safe during pregnancy?
So yeah, you can have sex in pregnancy. There is no contraindication to pregnancy as in general pregnancy as such, but there are some conditions like threatened preterm or placenta previa or premature rupture of membrane or threatened abortions, where you should generally avoid when we ask you, when like me in the sense when some doctor asks you to have a pelvic rest, at that time you should avoid having sex. Otherwise there is no research which says that sex is not good for you in pregnancy. It's okay.
So, doctor, how much weight gain is normal during pregnancy?
So this varies from person to person. It is basically dependent on the weight you were before you got pregnant. So ideally, it can be from anything from 10 to 12 kgs in pregnancy is what the amount of weight that you can put on in pregnancy, or that is usually happen. It usually happens in the last trimester, that is last 3 months of pregnancy, and in the starting in first 3 months you might lose also some weight, which is still okay, and then later on gaining 1 kg per month is fine. But there are some conditions like diabetes, or when you are obese, or some pregnancy induced some problems, because of which your doctor might ask you to restrict the amount of calories and not to gain too much of weight. So gaining too much of weight or gaining too little of weight, both can be a problem to you and your fetus or your baby.
So, doctor, one final question. Is it safe to smoke or drink alcohol during pregnancy?
Smoking and alcohol both are very harmful. In general also it is harmful to health. Specifically when you are pregnant, it can cause many problems to your offspring. It can cause, if you are a chronic alcoholist, then it might lead to fetal alcohol syndrome, in which your baby might be mentally retarded or might have some developmental anomalies. There is some specific facial appearances which could be there. Even smoking can cause BP, hypertension in pregnancy, and it can also cause some developmental anomalies in your fetus. So definitely you should avoid drinking and smoking. Also, there is no level of alcohol which is set as normal, so it's better to avoid.
Thank you, Dr. Mugdha, for sharing valuable insights on pregnancy care and maternal health. We hope this discussion has helped our listeners understand the early symptoms of pregnancy, the importance of regular checkups and tests, healthy eating habits, safe exercises, and the essential steps needed for a healthy pregnancy journey. Every pregnancy is unique, and proper awareness and timely medical guidance can make a significant difference for both mother and baby. If any of you have further questions regarding pregnancy care, don't hesitate to consult a gynecologist. Remember, informed pregnancy care plays a vital role in supporting the health and well being of both mother and child. We will be back soon with another episode of Pace Hospital's podcast. Until then, stay healthy, stay positive, and take care of yourself. Thank you.